have all that stuff.
Yeah, it was before EA bought Creatine.
Yep, I got all that stuff. I have stuff to do with that.
I told him I want to get one of the thing that can emulate. Like if you had an old school PC that had a strong enough chip, I would just have to get a drive for $12 because it's off of AliExpress. It has all the emulation ROMs on it for all the old systems all the way up. You just have to plug it in, and then the PC will run it. We could play. Like I said, we could do like what's one of your favorite games, or what's a game that you hated that was hard, and then we could go and just make fun of ourselves, how bad we are at stuff, and do everything, like do other stuff. Mm-hmm. Play games that we never like. Some of your favorite games or some of your favorite games I might know. Well, try this out, and then arcade stuff, old school stuff, newer, like all the way up, like more retro considered.
It's kind of cool to show what we're talking about.
Coffee's done.
All right, cool. All right. Yep.
Because the arcade games and stuff they put out,
they have their own
stuff, and they didn't. Dreamcast was an innovative system that had a lot of great games, but they also killed their systems. Them making systems. Wait, what was the Ninja? Oh, I want to show you Ninja Gaiden real quick. Cool stuff, man.
Ninja Gaiden.
Ragebound.
Summer
2025.
When
is Wolverine coming out?
2025.
That's gonna be woke.
The new Wolverine?
Yeah, the Wolverine game's gonna be woke.
What?
Sony's gone too, like they did with Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
I hope not. Well,
that's why I won't like that game. Oh yeah, I don't. From looking at the stuff I've seen on like if I gave my opinion without actually playing the game, I don't need to because got a platinum on the first one for PlayStation 4. I beat that game all the way.
Oh, you're talking about the other Spider. Okay.
Yeah, the 3D.
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2. Venom. I like how his design is. Look at Venom. I'm sorry, Harry Osborn ain't Venom.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Part of Venom's personality is a mixture of the symbiote being rejected by Spider-Man and Eddie Brock.
They did that?
But Harry Osborn in that game is Venom.
Why?
Like the new Spider-Man cartoon that they advertised, they made Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man that Disney's gonna be in Disney Plus. It was supposed to be a prequel to Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies. Mm-hmm. They made Norman Osborn a black dude. They made Harry Osborn look like transgender, black dude, with a hair bun and earrings.
Serious?
They race swapped everybody.
What?
And it's the same guys that made the X-Men 97 show. That's a continuation of the X-Men 90 show. Great show. That X-Men 97. Yeah. My kids watch it because it's violent.
Yeah.
That's great. It's not woke. Morph is kind of because they made him like non-binary, but they don't really push a lot of things. That show's great. The story all the way through. I watched all those. But the it's getting so blasted.
You can't even watch it.
I'll show. You're recording it probably, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys this before we get into it. Spider-Man. Friendly.
It's good to discuss though. I mean,
this one's
it's up and coming. That's too bad though.
Yeah, this one is just
thinking of original characters and.
certain genders and races, it's like that annoys me beyond measure when they do that. Because there's a lot of
Streaming
characters I love that
January
people don't
29.
like.
Nice of you to join us, Mr. Parker. See me after class.
Oh.
Wow.
Thank you. Another Disney Plus.
That's crazy.
Sorry, that's not to make me think of some old school Spider-Man games I wish we could play. That are hard.
I have the one that's probably worth a lot of money and hard to find for PlayStation.
Oh, the original PlayStation?
Yeah, the original Spider-Man. That's the one I beat. Oh, I'll have to say that
It's
for a
like-
different
yeah, it's like
podcast. Yeah, you're climbing all over and doing all
Yeah.
kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, I beat that one a few times. That's one of the ones that has replayability where you go back and you can beat it over and over and over again, and it's just as fun.
Spider-Man has had a lot better video game history than Superman has. Superman hasn't had that many games that are worth.
I don't
anything you wanna
remember
play.
any Superman games.
Superman
except for
60,
DC.
Superman 64. That's based on the animated series. Is one of the worst video games ever made.
Now I have to look it up.
Oh, it's awful. The Angry Video Game Nerd did a whole thing on it. And he's like, because they make you fly through these rings. Some of the missions you have to do is like fly through these rings. Like, why is Superman flying through these rings for? It's awful. The game's awful. Like, Superman has not given, like, Batman's been given a lot of awesome games over the years, all the way up through. Spider-Man has. Like, all the way up through.
Paw Patrol.
Like, an Atari game, Atari 2600 game that I had was a Spider-Man game. You had to climb up the building.
Mm-hmm.
That's even better than some of the stuff they gave Superman. And Superman's one of the greatest superheroes of all time. He's not one of my favorite,
Yeah.
but he's still like considered like 2 or 3 greatest superheroes of all time.
I mean, I liked him growing up, but I mean, there's others I liked better.
Yeah, there's guys I like better. Like I respect the character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like what he is. Like it's like you video game wise. Like
Golden Age.
all right, what are you?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Good evening. Welcome to Game Chat and Chill. I'm Eric.
Shane?
This is Shane. We're back here with Deranged Dave. Very opinionated. That's why we love him.
You don't like it? Too bad.
There you go. So today we're gonna be playing some games. I made up some games. This one's called Fact or Crap. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw a random thing at you, and then you're gonna tell me whether or not you think it's fact or crap.
Okay.
All right. Simple. Say
Like if it's real or not. If it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna do bad.
Yeah.
I like trivia though.
And I got that's the next segment is the
Oh.
trivia. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of that too.
Should be like or dislike. Garbage or not?
Yeah. I mean we'll
Do stuff
eventually
like that. Yeah.
eventually we'll morph into more detailed.
This game
better
garbage or
topics.
is this system garbage?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. But so for now, okay, www.gamefacts.com was the ultimate strategy guide website in the early 2000s. Fact or crap?
Fact.
Fact. Yeah, that's true. And yes, it's still around. You can still go to the website and get stuff, which is amazing because that was back in the day. I couldn't afford the game and the strategy guide. I never got the strategy guides till later on down the road.
The only thing that were worth is having
Especially
the maps and
hardcover.
stuff on there.
I
Yeah,
had
collectible
collector's
maps and
editions,
different
yeah.
posters.
Yeah,
and stuff
I had to
on
go back down the road later on, years later, and go on eBay and find stuff. So that was very helpful back in the day. I got a story about that. I've told you guys before about when I lived on my own, my first apartment when I was playing the Nintendo 64. I would have to go to the library, and I had to pay 10 cents per sheet. Go to GameFAQs, and they would print out the strategy guide page by page for me. And that was somebody's step-by-step instructions on how to play the video game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only way I could play the game because I couldn't afford the strategy guide books. So I'd get like $1 worth of printed out strategy guide, play that, and have to wait to continue the game until I could either afford more or get to the library. So that was our lives back in the early 2000s, you know.
Dial up.
Yeah. Yeah. Back then, if you could afford it, you could have the AOL, American Online, but
That was
we would always get the
Roadrunner.
trial disc, you know, and change the email address
Mm-hmm.
just to get the.
You got mail.
weekend worth
Wow.
of internet.
Yeah, we thought it was so cool to get a video clip that was like the picture was this big on the screen. It was only like 5 seconds long. You had to wait 10 years to load up a video clip or something. Wow, that's awesome.
Took 2 hours to
Now you get math. It takes more than a couple seconds. Like, why is this taking 10 years to load up?
Took 2 hours to upload a picture of like Spider-Man or something, off the internet.
Yeah, they had a video clip from like a Star Wars movie from like Phantom Menace. You're like, it's like
Yeah,
this big.
and if you
It's like, wait a minute, is that the pod racing? Is that Darth Maul?
yeah, if you watch it now, it's like this
It's like little tiny
little
thing.
tiny thing. Let's say so. Nintendo was the first gaming console invented.
False. Crap.
Crap. You think it's crap? All right. Yep, it's crap. In 1972, the Magnavox Odyssey was the first console invented. That was
Even
like
then?
it was like an Atari, wasn't it?
No,
It's
that's like pre.
There's a pre.
I mean, they had Pong and all that
Obviously, it
stuff
was the
too. There
first
was a
one.
Pong system with just Pong on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember
So that
one
was
of my
the only-
friends had that thing.
That was the
I thought
only
it funny.
thing that the system came with was Pong.
It was just Pong, yeah.
Huh.
Pong was like one of those first games like, bing, bing, I'm just
The
playing tennis
basic-
back and forth.
yeah,
Bing, bing,
yeah.
paddles like, wing, me, me.
Basic programming.
Yeah, 2600 is what took off everything. Everybody having a 2600.
Yeah, 'cause I had
and then
that.
it killed the industry. You had the video game crash. Nintendo saved it when
Ah.
they came out with Super Mario. Like when
Yeah.
they came out, the Nintendo there was the video game crash. It like oversaturated the market. Everybody had an Atari. They couldn't sell any more systems because everybody had one.
Yeah.
And then it just crashed. Atari blew up because of that too. But Nintendo saved everything. That's what I'll give Nintendo for that. But
That's
sorry,
crazy.
Going off a little bit subject there, but
History.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. This is all. That's
All
what
good
we do
stuff.
here. We
Yeah.
try to share whatever knowledge we have. Doesn't hurt to. Anyways, let's see. Super Mario Brothers was the best-selling game ever. Fact or crap?
that's crap. Nowadays, it's something higher than that. I think.
You guys know what it is?
There's a system higher than that. A game.
Super Mario Brothers was the best-selling game, not console, but game.
Game most selling
The bet was sold the most copies.
So you're talking about the original Super Mario
Super
Brothers?
Mario
Or
Brothers.
are you talking about the series in general?
The Super Mario Brothers, the game.
No.
Fact or crap?
Crap.
Crap. That is crap. Tetris is the best with over 520 million copies sold. And then followed by Minecraft with over 300 million. And then Grand Theft Auto, whatever the V is, was that 4?
Yeah, 5.
5. That one sold 190 million. And then Space Invaders with over 1 million.
Space. That's a drop. The Space Invaders. Everybody played Space Invaders.
Yeah,
man.
that's why I don't understand. How is that one down so low? I would have thought the
I thought
Space
Kubert would
Invaders.
have done better.
Space
It's not-
Invaders. Everybody played Space Invaders. Though. It was
Yeah.
like one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones that came. It was like one of the bigger ones before Pac-Man.
How about
Because of
Galaga?
it, like that was before Space Invaders
still-
predates Galaga. Because you had the arcade machines. They had a black and white version of Space Invaders.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. Then all of a sudden it was color.
Yeah.
On the arcade machine. But that was like the big one before you had Pac-Man and then Galaga or even Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
That stuff you're hitting in there, you're like, yeah, I want that in my arcade. Even if it's old school stuff, man. Playing that Atari, the Space Invaders was awesome. Playing the original.
Yeah, because
Missile Command. I'm thinking that's a weird stuff now. But.
yeah, everybody's gonna want to play that. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking Grand
Pac-Man.
Theft Auto. I knew Grand Theft Auto was in the top 3 because of how much they've sold with that, especially with the online. They're still going with the online. They made billions of dollars off of that thing just because of the online. But yeah, Tetris because it's on everything. Minecraft. That's a smart thing Microsoft bought was Minecraft.
Okay, here's one. Mario was originally named Jumpman.
Yes,
Fact or crap?
I
Fact.
agree. Yep.
Fact. That is
Donkey
a
Kong.
fact.
Donkey Kong. He was named that.
This
Mario's
is the first
name.
appearance, right? Donkey Kong? Yep.
Donkey Kong.
Mario's name came from the landlord of the building where Nintendo of America was located, named Mario I'm gonna butcher it. Segali? Segal?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Anyways. For those of people that don't know what it is or where it came from. Okay. Pac-Man's design was inspired by a pie missing a slice. Fact or crap?
Fact.
Crap.
It's
Survey
crap.
says
It's crap.
crap.
Pac-Man's design was inspired by a pizza missing a slice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. And then wasn't the ghost
Everybody gets a piece of the pie.
ghost named after the developers? Or
Yeah,
no?
they had something they were nicknamed
Something to
after
do with
somebody.
the
Tied in
developers.
there,
Yeah, tied in there.
Okay.
somehow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll save that segment for a different time. We're gonna do trivia now.
It's
Okay.
always good to take stuff away. Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I'm
gosh.
still working on the next segment.
Mhm.
We're just gonna do the trivia and then we'll end it.
You can do the
after
same
that.
kind of thing with games too. Like, is it not like fact, but like, is it or
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah,
crap? No.
Yeah, because
You
yeah.
can get
Trivia,
really,
facts, fiction,
you can get really
yay, nay?
brutal on that one. You get really brutal on that one because some of us might think certain games are great.
Exactly,
Otherwise, you'd be
yeah.
like, no, that's crap.
Yeah, so make sure you guys write stuff down like this, like when you're at home bored.
Yeah.
Come up with a list of stuff you guys want to do. Like I was telling him, if you guys can come up with ideas, bring them on down. We'll throw it in there. You know what I'm saying?
Games.
Exactly. Whatever ideas you come up with, we'll throw it in there.
It's all about the games, right?
Yeah.
Not about the controller.
Well, yeah, but
I'm messing around.
ties
I'm
in.
messing around.
yeah, but we can discuss pretty much anything you want, except for we'll discuss politics, but we'll keep that to a minimum.
Yeah, you can do that.
But-
if it comes to games,
Yeah,
then
this
we'll
is
talk
we're
about
going to
it.
focus the center on games. But if you want to talk about Star Wars, if you want to talk about Marvel, if you want whatever,
If it's in
It's on the
games,
board.
yeah, games. There's stuff in games.
Yeah.
Like if we get into stuff, the reason why certain games aren't that great now is because they're too political. That's just what I'm gonna get at.
there you
That's
go.
why retro gaming's so huge, because it's just fun. Games are meant to be fun, not
Yeah.
to be. I'm gonna teach you a
Political.
lesson.
Yeah.
No, I don't need to be taught a lesson. I want to have fun.
Well-
I want to escape my everyday mundane life.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are cool games for kids, like learning games.
Yeah.
But
You
when
know
it
what I
comes to
mean?
the adult
Learning,
world,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean. Not like you're learning actual stuff that you need to learn. It's actually moral. Like
Yeah.
to make you a better person. No, to make you more accepting. No, it has nothing to do with that. Like, if you already got those issues, a video game ain't gonna make you any better.
Yeah.
They're for fun, escapism.
There you
Sorry.
go.
Agreed.
Sorry,
Uh,
go ahead.
This is why your name is Deranged Dave. Anyways, trivia. Okay. Let's see. Introduced on the Wii console, Nintendo games can make their own in-game character by creating an avatar known by what three-letter name that sounds similar to a pronoun.
Me, MII.
Yep. What's your answer? Oh, wait, you never got the Wii, did you? You never had a Wii.
I played Wii and I've seen stuff on it.
So
But-
would
You had to make your character for Wii Sports. They had to look just like you. You could make a guy that doesn't look just like you. I always made one that's like guy with a shaved
Bald,
head with
yeah.
glasses and
yeah, it's called
It's a
a
good
fat guy
natural.
with a
Yeah.
goatee
it's
or
called a
beard.
Wii.
Me, yeah.
I couldn't really get into their avatars.
All
I
they did was Wii and put the
I
switch
didn't
it upside
care
down
for
to
it.
Yeah.
me.
Me. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't care for their avatars. That like having to do that, I didn't like it.
It was only fine with when it comes to because you used it the one you made for Wii
Thumbprint
Sports
faces.
or Wii Sports Resort. That was cool because you had you got a character in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, no.
Avatar.
All right. What is thought to be the first video game created in 1958 and becoming popular in the 1970s?
I think it was like it wasn't. Pong.
What is thought to be the first video game created in 1958 and becoming popular in the 1970s?
It had something to do with missiles. I can't remember. I don't know what
Chess?
it's called.
You had it right.
Was it
Huh?
Pong? Was
Yeah,
it
Pong.
Pong?
Pong was the
Oh,
first
okay.
game made.
Hmm.
And
all
I-
it is. It's simple as all can be.
Yeah.
Pong's
Sure.
simple
I
as-
thought it was just a
It's one of the most
continuation
legendary.
Okay.
It's one of the most legendary games on the planet. I'm not saying
Mhm.
it's worth
and I-
necessarily playing for
And I
hours
think
now.
that was the game. People in the comments, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the game that came with the system. That was the only game that came
Yeah,
with the
that's
system.
what. Yeah, that's a system.
Mhm.
It was a
Okay.
Pong. I had a friend that had
That's what I
that
thought. Yeah, that's what you were talking
thing.
about.
Yeah, little turn paddles. You can turn your thing on.
Mhm.
And that's all you could play on it.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's tennis basically.
And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then for some reason it wouldn't always work. From what I read when I was reading it, it would like things didn't always.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
when you-
Atari took it up a step with what they could do with everything, with the cartridges and everything else.
Yeah, they really came out
Even with
some
some of the games they made with the. There's some fun games like Kaboom. That's a good one with using the turn thing. You're trying to catch the bombs. The guy dropping the bombs. The burglar.
Yeah.
It's getting a little crazy, but.
The word Tetris is a combination of the Greek word tetra, meaning four, and what six-letter sport that was a favorite of game creator Alex Pegitu? Sorry, I butchered that.
Oh wow.
6
The,
letters.
the word Tetris is a combination of the Greek word tetra, meaning 4, and what 6-letter sport that was a favorite of game creator, we'll just say Alex. I tried keeping the questions easy and hard.
That's
Like I
soccer.
tried mixing it.
It's not soccer.
Nope, that's 7.
Yeah, I was counting wrong. That was 8.
Think about Tetris.
Chess?
Tetris?
No.
Tetris.
Tennis.
Tennis.
Yep.
Tennis.
Tennis. You got it.
Tennis.
Yes, tennis is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Matthew might even know this. Who created the game Fortnite? Come on!
I don't know.
It's one of the most popular.
Yeah,
Games
I've
out
played
there.
Fortnite. I'm okay at Fortnite. I could pick it up and probably play Fortnite without an issue. But me knowing who created it,
Does
no.
it say
at this
on there?
point.
Does it say anywhere on there?
I'm gonna be the unpopular. Eric, what's my favorite game?
Not Fortnite. He can't stand it. Like I'm dying to get him to play. He won't do it anymore. And he may.
Sure, why not?
He might eventually. But all right, I'll read it again. See, who created the game Fortnite? Any kind of a guess?
Who created it?
Yeah, who created Fortnite?
I don't know.
Epic?
Oh, the company?
Yeah.
I know the company. I thought you were talking about the dude.
Oh no! Oh, I should have been more
Epic.
specific.
Epic. I know. Like
Yeah,
Epic.
was
Yeah.
it Epic Games or something like that, or just Epic? Epic.
Epic.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that did.
I should have been more
Gears
specific.
And all that stuff. Yeah,
that's,
I know.
That's
that.
on me. That's on me.
Interesting.
Okay, here we go. Here's one. These are all questions. I tried getting questions that you guys would probably know, or may know, or would make you think. I tried not making them too hard. 'Cause
Either way,
I-
we'll get an answer out of it.
Yeah. I wanted because I figured you guys would somewhat know. Anyways, pocket, light, color, and advance were all styles or variants of what video game hardware system?
Which? What? Pocket light? Oh, what are you talking about?
Pocket, comma, light, comma, color, comma, and advance, comma,
Game
were
Boy.
all styles or variants of what video game hardware system?
Game Boy.
Nintendo.
It's Game Boy.
It is Game Boy,
made by
Nintendo.
Nintendo, but it's Game Boy.
Okay.
Yep, Dave got that one. Okay, this one you might know. In Super Mario Kart, which character has the shortest name?
Toad.
In Mario Kart?
Mario Kart, which character has the shortest name?
Somebody else has got something else than Toad. It's probably somebody lower than Toad, I would think. Because there's a lot of weird characters in that game.
There's a lot in there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Well,
I can't remember. It's been a while.
Take a guess. Take a shot.
Toad, I guess. No.
That's I was thinking
It's
Toad.
Toad.
Yay!
Yeah, basically. You know, in certain ones you can put me on there. At the Wii version, you can put a me in there.
Really? It's named me? M-I-I?
You're a me character.
Oh.
But yeah,
well,
overall, yeah, we're talking about regular
yeah,
Mario Kart. That's,
regular-
Toad.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Toad
yeah.
would make sense.
All right.
Everybody else is at least 5 letters.
What fantasy kingdom is the main setting for the Legend of Zelda video game series? Any Zelda players in here?
Yeah, but I don't play it as much anymore. That's the problem. Some of the
I couldn't.
teenagers from up at
I
church
can't
would be like,
think-
I
"Tell me
could
in
not
school."
get into
Zelda?
Zelda. I tried. I couldn't get into
Some of
it.
the other stuff are great. There's some great games that
The
they
name?
made on that.
I couldn't get into
There's
Zelda
some great
at all.
games, man.
What's the name of the town?
Orkiana, no.
I remember the Triforce.
What fantasy kingdom is the main setting for the Legend of Zelda video game series?
Main setting.
Gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Sure ain't Britannia. Hmm?
No, it's not Orkiana either. It's not that, right? No.
No.
That's the name of the crystal or something weird.
Hmm.
I don't know now at this point.
It's Hyrail.
Hyrail?
Oh!
It's so,
I know, it's one of the
so
games.
obvious.
It's one of the games too, man. They did a game like that too.
Wah, 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 wah.
Hey, now
See,
you
that's
know.
why I get getting to playing certain games and getting introduced to certain games
It's
and
been a
trying them
while.
out.
It's cool.
I'm trying to make it fun.
Yeah, it is.
What
It is.
1985 video game begins with a planned departure from Independence, Missouri?
What year?
This is gonna test for OGs here.
1985.
What 1985 video game begins with the planned departure from Independence, Missouri? We all played this.
Oh my gosh, from 1985?
We all played this
In 1985.
in school.
Was it that computer that the one you brought
Oregon
up earlier?
Trail.
The Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the same.
Independence,
You
Indiana.
die. You always
There
die
we
in the
go.
way.
Yeah.
You die.
I don't think I
Cross
know
River?
anybody who's ever beaten that. I don't even think I did. I don't think.
It was a
They've
little
redone
cheap
that,
kid,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I had enough time in school to ever play it to get that far.
No, we never had that much
We
time
took
in
turns
computer
in
lab.
library class.
But yeah, and then,
Yeah.
but then I think I always died.
Remember those discs?
Wow.
I think that's gonna be
Classics.
it for the trivia. But yeah, it's
Well, that was fun.
yeah, that was a fun. I figured that would be the crapper fact,
Cool.
and then the trivia. I figured would be a great addition to the podcast.
Cool.
It'd be good.
Yeah, we have to
good
do it
little
again.
games.
Comments.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah. If anybody else in
Change it up.
comments has any kind of other games they would want us to play or have any suggestions for that, then let us know. But that's all I got. I mean, I got tons of other stuff. I don't have it prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like I got millions of ideas of things we can do. I just don't have anything prepared for anything. So we can just shoot the breeze right now if you
You can
want.
talk about certain games if you want.
Yeah.
Out of all the games that you played, what intro in the game left the most impression on you that you can recall? Comes to mind.
Intro?
Intro. Yep. After you hit the start button, was
Oh.
there a something that started the game? Was it right into the game
What
starting?
was the
Boom,
best
boom, boom.
introduction for
Intro.
a video game? Oh my word!
Best introduction to a video game?
Intro. For whatever reason, the springboard question.
I will tell you. Well, there's something that's probably not the best, but there's stuff that's popping in my head.
I just had it and it's gone. Oh,
They didn't do
Keep
it.
thinking about it.
They didn't do it in the first game, but they did it in every other game after that, as far as I remember. The second game did it. Like I was telling somebody because of the movie that they did based on the video game series. They started the movie out kind of like that. Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 is an awesome introduction because it's showing like Nathan Drake's like looking all beat up. He's like sitting in his seat on a train. He's like, and all the stuff starts falling down. He's like, what is this? And then he realizes the train's hanging off the cliff. And you got to climb up the train. That's in the middle of the game in the story. But the game starts out that you're off the cliff, and then it kind of does a flashback of how he got there. And all the other games kind of did that, and the movie did that too, kind of like with him off the airplane. But that's a cool introduction to the game. Mass Effect 2 is an interesting one because you die. Shepard dies in the beginning of the game. Sorry if you didn't play the first one, but the second one, Shepard down off the planet. There's a hole in his suit. He dies.
Spoiler alert.
But he dies in the beginning of that game. That's an interesting introduction. I'm trying to think of other stuff that has a.
Called into duty.
You got one?
Hmm?
You got one?
Batman.
Which game? Which
Batman.
system?
Hmm?
Which
Nintendo.
game? Nintendo?
Batman original.
I don't think I played that.
That's a very hard
Does
game.
anybody got
It's a good
that?
game.
Does anybody own that?
There's
I don't know
some
that one.
again going back to this, the whole thing, and again I don't know if it had to do with the movie, but the whole thing was just with the spotlight, just the sound. Just remember it.
You
Because
guys,
it was
are,
just like in the movie how it had like the silhouette.
you guys are
know,
gonna love
whether
this
it's
one.
the comics or the movies,
If you
whatever,
don't
what the
know,
game
I'm
too.
gonna have to find it to show you. You ready?
Well, yeah.
PlayStation 1, Jurassic Park.
Oh.
You put the game in, and it shows the kid on the moon fishing. Do 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 do.
What, DreamWorks?
And then all of a sudden, the dinosaur. He's like, "Oh, I got one!" The dinosaur pulls it out and eats it. That was my favorite one.
Hey, that's good. Good.
I don't know why,
That's a
but
good
that
one.
one
That's a
that one
good
stuck.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I could every time I watched that, I would just die laughing. I'm like,
Pussy.
yeah, because remember it's like what is it, DreamWorks or something,
yeah,
or
because
what,
they
the,
just- yeah.
the kids fishing on the moon,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you see boop boop. Oh, I got one! Rah!
Yeah, one's Bugs Bunny jumping out.
The dinosaur ate him.
Oh man.
Yeah, that one's
Cool.
left a
Warner
long,
Brothers,
lasting impression that I can
Mhm.
remember. I can't remember any other ones off the top of my head, but that one is definitely the funnier and heck intro
Mm-hmm.
to a game.
Cool.
Some message real quick.
Um,
Tell him doing something.
Mhm.
Podcast. Oh, it's good. Have fun. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll be able to see it eventually.
Trying to think. Game wise.
I can't think of any other ones.
Intros. There's games that like have weird intros, like they kind of throw you off. Trying to think. There's one game I remember, like even seeing people react to it now when they're trying to play the original Arkham Asylum game. I don't know if you ever played that, Batman Arkham Asylum. There's a part way through the game, and I remember when I first played it on PlayStation 3, it started glitching on you. Like the screen,
That is quite, you know.
and it made you think your system was crashing or there's something wrong with the video game. It's like,
And-
what is going on? And some guys, I remember seeing a guy recently playing it for the first time on PC. He thought his PC crashed.
Oh, wow.
But it's part of the game because it like all of a sudden it's like because you're in the scarecrow thing, you don't realize you're getting messed up with the head, and it shows like all of a sudden the Joker's driving you in the Batmobile like the beginning of the game instead of you driving the Joker in. It's him driving you in like you're going into the nut house in the asylum, but it's like it glitches on you like it acted like the game was crashing, the system crashed. I remember when I first played that, I'm like. That's one of those weird things that kind of throw you off.
Did it start with they're bringing the Joker in and through the doors?
Yeah, like through the Batmobile.
You know, yeah, I think
it glitches you halfway through. You're like the game all of a sudden starts glitching.
Yeah,
and you're like, did my system just crash? Is there something wrong with the game?
That's
and it's in the middle of the game. That's not an intro, but like I'm trying to think of other games. Like
yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot. I don't think there's. I mean, there probably is, but I don't think we've played that many games to know all the cool intros. You know,
there's too many games I can't remember is my problem now. At this point.
Exactly.
Just springboard question just to see what thoughts were.
Well, I got something.
That was a good one though.
Well, I think I've discussed this with you guys before about this was a multiplayer game that was not, as far as I knew, it wasn't super popular, but it became popular towards the end of his life, and then it was short-lived. It was Gotham City Imposters. It was an online shooter, like similar to Black Ops, and it was on the PS3, and it was a free deal. It was a free download for like PlayStation Plus or something to do with PlayStation. It was a free game one time. I downloaded it. I'm gonna have to find some footage and we'll have to do like a reaction video to it or something at some point. I don't have my phone on me to check it, but it's called Gotham City Imposters, and you could make up your own character, design it however you wanted. You could make up weapons to use, and you got these lists. From what I can remember, you had all these different ways to set up your character. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was dressing up in their own version of a superhero, and your own version of a vigilante. So then you did that, and you go on the multiplayer boards, and you'd shoot each other just like Call of Duty, and it was phenomenal. It was amazing. I don't know why they don't redo it, remaster it, make number 2, 3, 4, 5, because it was fantastic. The only thing I did not like about it was the servers were junk. Insane amounts of lag, and it was just, well, I mean, that's kind of like how it was, though, for PS3 era. If you didn't have the fastest of the fast internet, which wasn't very fast, 15 megabytes a second, then you're lagging all the time, no matter what you played, and that's kind of what we dealt with. Even though we had, at that time, it was fast internet speed, which was like either 7 or 15 megabytes a second internet speed. That was high-speed internet back then. And, but...
Play Call of Duty 4 with that.
Yeah. That was right? So that was one of those games that came out that I thought was fantastic, and it didn't have, as far as I know, it wasn't very popular because they haven't done anything with it since. You guys think of any games like that?
There's games that become classics after the fact.
Yeah.
Because people weren't exposed to them as much because they had limited things. Like I was showing you guys earlier the video, like old school retro arcade games. Like one of the games I was telling you guys about, if anybody watches it, just making me think about it, is I didn't only find out about this game like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It's from the early 90s or whatever. It's Ninja Baseball Batman.
Yeah.
Hand-drawn animation. One of the best, most fun, weird beat-em-up games ever. We got to somehow be able to play that. It's only in arcades. Never been put to home systems. It only sold hundreds of units in the United States. That's why a lot of people weren't exposed to it. But
So
like
they're
if you
not-
look at it,
coming out with it.
it's the same company that makes.
Emulator?
They're bringing out more old school games of their arcade games. IRM. They make R-Type and all those kind of games. You see them like on Evercades, and then they're bringing out collections like 3 games for like $40 though, which people are like, that's a ripoff. Kind of is if you're only offering 3 arcade games. But
Yeah.
like that's one game that people like would have fun if you like beat 'em ups like the Ninja Turtles or Streets of Rage or Final Fight or anything like that. It's hand drawn animation with a lot of It's exactly how it sounds. A ninja, baseball, Batman. So it's a baseball player that's a ninja that beats people up with a bat.
Yep.
They beat him up with a bat. He's a Batman, not like
Yeah.
Batman. You're thinking, oh, Batman. But there's people have done videos on it and stuff like that. I mean, I think the guy that does the Angry Video Game Nerd did it one time because he talks about old school stuff as himself. They talk about old school movies and games. He's like one of those games like, check it out. They're playing it. Like, yeah, you can emulate it because you can get MAME emulators.
Yeah.
That'd be something we got to try to check out sometime. We could try a lot of.
We should Google it or something. Maybe there's got to be something.
There's
to-
games that
to be
can,
able to
there's
play.
things you can plug and play, things that can emulate stuff, old arcade games. They have the ROMs on it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of games like that, beat 'em ups, that unless they get the licenses for them, IRM could probably put it out. They should. But it's one of those games that you would have fun if you like that. It's just a fun, crazy, weird that a lot of people weren't exposed to. See, I only found out about like 3 or 4 years ago just from seeing it online and being like, old arcade games. Beat 'em, what is that? And then it's like, it's hand drawn animation too. Like I like that kind of stuff better than
Like that Mr. Cup game or whatever.
yeah,
that
Cuphead.
Cuphead, yeah.
That game's
Mhm.
one of the hardest games ever.
That's what I've heard. It's very hard.
It's hard.
It's like the
It's-
40s right.
It's like the way it's drawn and on purpose, like the old school Looney Tunes or
That's
before
cool.
the Disney
Yeah.
cartoons. But Cuphead is like one of the hardest. That's like patterns and different things. It's like old school games. So that's one of those hard games. I like it. Kids thought it was funny because they're like, oh, like cool anime guys. Cuphead shooting the bad guys, and the boss fights are awesome. But yeah, Ninja Baseball Batman.
That's crazy. Yeah, until you told me about it, I never even heard of it. I never even dreamed or thought about anything like that.
Even the name just sounds weird. You think it's gonna be like Batman from DC Comics? Nope, it's a ninja that's a baseball player that uses a bat.
It's so crazy.
Let's make it fun. Gotta play it. That's cool.
Fighting a boss, like I showed you, the boss fight on a plane, fighting a plane. The boss is a plane.
Is that right? You have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's like, look it up. It's a little funny. It's one of those old school. It's multiplayer, which would be fun. Get a couple guys, beat 'em ups.
Mm-hmm.
Playing on the screen right here. But like we'll play.
Oh, just making sure.
Yeah, if we do a show, it'd be
Like,
cool to put something up.
There's a lot of stuff we could do like that, just to see stuff that we always wanted to try, that we heard of, that we never got a chance to try.
Making sure Matthew's on there. Oh, it's already at the end.
But like, yeah, that's an old school. Those old school games you always try to kind of come across, and you're just like, yeah, if that people were more exposed to it, would have done better. But arcade machines, you either had to rent them back then because they're how expensive they are. That's why I get it. People didn't buy it.
It's good ones.
It's like Street Fighter 2 was in every arcade.
Oh, yeah,
Basically, you
that
can find it in
and
Mortal Kombat. You
Mortal
can find it
Kombat,
everywhere. NBA Jam, you could find
Yep.
everywhere.
NBA Jam.
Like you could find those everywhere when they came out. Like, and people don't realize that as cool as like the Mario Kart ones that are in arcades nowadays, and you could connect 4 machines at the same time.
That's crazy.
They cost $15,000 a piece for one.
Oh my gosh.
So if you're not renting them, you're spending a ton of money to buy those things to put
Yeah.
them in your arcade.
Can you imagine
So-
that? That's insane.
And things are more expensive now, but like if you wanted old school stuff to try to find certain things, unless you can emulate it.
Yeah.
That's why emulation's like for to be able to play the old games that you want to be able to play. That's like I wish some of the companies would bring out more of their old stuff, like in just like collections.
Yeah, what about those 1-up machines? What are your thoughts on those things?
The arcade 1-up.
Yeah, the arcade 1-ups.
They're cool for what they did. And they start
I-
getting a little overpriced at a certain point
Oh yeah.
because of licensing. They had to do it, but they bring an arcade quality experience to your home. That like if
Because
you
I
look
have
at that
not
old-
heard anything bad on them yet.
The only thing that got bad is because of the pricing got a little bit
Oh,
higher
yeah,
because of
yeah.
the licensing. But they started making full size deluxe versions, the actual full size. You didn't have to have the booster thing on there,
Yeah.
but it was actual size of the machine, like the original arcade machines.
Because a buddy of mine, he ended up buying I think 6 of them altogether.
That's awesome. Like, yeah. that'd be
Yeah, when
cool.
they first
I
came out,
reckon.
because
Yeah.
they were only like $200, and he got them on clearance for 100 or something like that a
Yeah.
piece. And he got the booster boxes for underneath them, and he
Yeah,
had
because
like
of the height
the
of
Mortal
everything,
Kombat
yeah.
one with all 3 Mortal Kombats on it, and then he got I can't remember. I'll have to go back
Was
in my
Street Fighter
messenger.
2? You get
I
Street
think
Fighter
so,
2?
yeah, because he had like 6 of them. By the time he was done, he had 6 of them. He made a game room in his basement. He had a bar set up, all these crazy funky lights going on, and it was just his hangout spot. He made his own arcade.
That's why it's like when you brought up that At Games plug and play Sega thing. At Games makes their own arcade machine, legendary arcade.
Really?
It's a full-size arcade machine. It has over hundreds of built-in games in it, but it also has an online where you can play, where you can download games to it. But it also has a thing where you can plug in USB port where you can play your own ROMs.
Oh,
on the
wow.
thing. So you can play arcade games and everything else. And they also added later where you can take the panel off.
Yeah.
You can make it a 4-player arcade.
Whoa.
So that means if you had games like a beat 'em up, like we were talking about, where you have Teenage Ninja Turtles, where you have 4 players. Hey, you're Michelangelo, you're Leonardo, you're Donatello, you're Raphael. You're all playing 4 players, and it's big enough. It's an actual full-size arcade machine. But you can still get those things. It's just a little bit more expensive than an arcade one-up machine.
You know what's crazy? I never knew this, and I was watching a video a couple months back with the old arcade, the old arcade games like that. They would come in kits, some of them,
Yeah.
and you could swap. It's basically like changing a game in it. You swap the whole board out. You just pulled it right out.
Yeah.
So say you had Pac-Man and you're done with it, pulled that sucker out, put a new one in, and then you had like Mortal Kombat.
That's what Neo
And then
Geo cabinets
and then
were
they
like.
had kits, sticker kits, where we put them on the sides of the cabinet, so you changed you changed everything, and then they would come with the lift off the glass paneling where the joysticks and all the buttons are, and you put your sticker in there, and you change the whole entire cabinet over. You swap it over, and it's like having a console. You just switch that board, and you have a different game in there. It's crazy. I never knew any
It's
of that.
pretty neat.
Yeah. So like when you're actually going to look for these things, you may think you're buying one, but then if you peel the sticker back, it's a completely different game before that. Not all of them, but some of them. That's how some of them were set up back when they were popular.
Yeah, Neo Geo kind of did their machines like that. That's why their system was so expensive, because basically the cartridge, which everybody wanted one, there's like $100, $200 for a game. It's because they were actually the cartridge itself was like how the arcades were. It's like arcade quality, because that's what it was. The arcade machines were like that.
And one of the things that I also learned too, looking into the cabinets and stuff, is one of the things that goes in them is like the sound and whatnot. And a lot of that stuff is just you have to change out capacitors. There's like you have to change out like 10 capacitors, and then you get the sound back. And then there's a few other things that they go, but that's what it is, because the old style capacitors, they leak and then they explode and then they don't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them things, that's all you got to do is swap out the capacitors and they're working again. So that's something to think about. Yeah, something to think about.
Our little arcade, like that's what I grew up. My first, besides the Atari, was any arcade. But like I was saying, any arcade game drove my mom nuts with quarters. It didn't matter what it was. I wanted to play arcade games. I had fond memories of the old school arcades. Doesn't mean they're the best games in the world. They could be quarter-eating machines designed that way on purpose to eat your money. But yeah, playing a lot of these old school. That's why a lot of people were getting into arcade one-up and all the other things, because they had that fond memory of.
Yeah,
having
I
arcade machines.
remember. Yeah, same with you. We actually, back in the day, they would take us to bars. We were actually allowed to go in the bar, but we didn't drink. We just played the games.
Yeah.
Played pool, played the games, played.
They probably had golden tee.
Shuffleboard.
They probably had golden tee, and because of golden tee, that tennis, the golf game.
Yeah,
With the rolling ball.
Yep,
A
I
lot
remember that. Yep.
People would have those in bars.
Go ask Grandpa or go ask Ma for quarters, and that's what you did. Either pinball machines or the arcades.
Mm-hmm.
But everywhere you went back in the day, you guys remember stores. I don't remember too many stores that had stuff like that. For some reason, I just don't remember stores having them. And you guys were talking about you go to the store or Pizza Hut.
Convenient
Pizza
down
Hut.
here. That used to be down here growing up as a kid. It's where the workout place is now. But Convenient was in there. They always have at least one machine in there.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go down there when I get comic books or whatever. But then, my mom would take us down there for certain things. But then I gotta sneak back there and try to throw a quarter in the arcade. Playing Jungle Hut. I remember playing Jungle Hut in there. R-Type, Shinobi, our Ultra Beasts back in the day. They had Ninja Turtles at one point, the original arcade machine. And you're like, so it's like, I still remember playing. We went to like she took us to like this wave pool water park, and they had the first time I seen Golden Axe in the arcade, and it was like outside underneath the thing, but they had it near the pool. Or Golden Axe on the arcade machine. So playing that, you're like playing that, and
Yeah, I looked out when I was a little before getting on the bus. It was where I got picked up was outside a store. So if the store was open, there's times where we'd go in right in the back, and that's where we played the arcade games. That was fun.
what
Oh,
was
yeah.
that?
The
Light
light
flicker.
flicker.
The light
Yeah.
flickered.
Oh, the power.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, they were wherever you went in some capacity, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It's like whether if it was a big
Cool.
theme park you're going to, that's where you went. If it wasn't in the entry to the establishment. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going here soon.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we can probably end this if you want.
Yeah, don't mean to be rude.
That's fine. We all
Yeah.
got stuff going on.
Yeah, later I gotta get the kids in a little bit, but yeah, there's stuff that we like what you're talking about, old school or games that we can. Some of our favorite games, we can talk about that at some point, and
Yeah.
or stuff that you might want to play that you never got a chance to play.
Yeah.
Another thing. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff we do. We have
Old
ton-
school stuff all the way up to new stuff.
reviews, reaction videos like we
Oh,
just
yeah.
did earlier with those
Like
are
that one,
reactions.
that one you were mentioning there, Dave, but just thinking about the whatever games that are popular, whether it's Australia, China, let alone
Yeah.
what we're used to. Other people have their favorites too, so that'd be interesting to find out what those are and try them out.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions or comments, I'm working on getting a email set up for this channel. But for the time being, you can go to Facebook, check it out, and you can message me there at One Eye Truckin's Gaming, and you can message me there to get a hold of me until we get the email up and running. But if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share it. Check us out on Facebook, like I said. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, Dave, for coming and hanging out for the day. I had so much fun. I can't believe that the time flew like this. This is insane. But yeah, don't forget, guys. Just keep gaming.